Alright, so here is the positive and negative, or just the two wires coming from the side marker right here. So I ran through there, and then two wires, I just got them hanging here. And then this is my daylight. I think these are just daylights. And then this one is my turn signals. And those are the two that you need, that you're gonna splice into. So I got those in there. And alright, so I'm just gonna run through three ways you can wire this. First one's to your park lights, which I was calling them your daytime lights, but whatever they're called. Those are the ones that stay on throughout the day when you flip your the switch one time. So yeah, one wire from your side markers goes to, you know, one of the wires on your park light, and then the other one goes to the other one. So 1-to-1 on your park lights, that'll just be so your side markers will basically just be on. They won't do the turn signals or anything like that. It'll just be park lights. So, you know, they'll just turn on and off. That's it. Alright, so for this second way you could wire this is straight to your turn signals. So basically it's just one wire goes to your positive, one to your negative. So any of the wires from your side markers to one of your ones on your turn signals, and then the other one to the other one. So just 1-to-1. So it's pretty straightforward. You know, the turn signals only have two wires, your side markers has two wires, so just 1-to-1. One goes to one to the other one. That should be pretty straightforward. Turn signal obviously is your amber one. It's like furthest into the car, so yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Alright, so this third one is probably the most confusing one, but it's pretty simple. You just want to do one of your wires, any one from your side markers, goes to the one on your park lights, which I was calling them daytime. So one to that, which would be the positive, and the other one to the other positive on your turn signals. So just take one wire from that and one wire from the other one. So here's the next step was me just testing and making sure that these wires that I picked are gonna work. I chose to do the red on the park lights, daytime lights, and I did the red on there. Just strip it back, use some regular wire strippers, and you know, just expose the wire a little bit. Make sure you don't go too deep. Wrap one of your wires from your side markers, any one of them. Wrap it around that one, and then do the same for the turn signals. Wrap one around that. Did that just to test and make sure that it's gonna work. That's not the final product or anything. It's just to make sure that I'm doing the wiring right and correctly. And yeah, let's see if it turns on. Here's the light. Let's go in this car. Got a fucking mess in here. Where are we at? There's no keys in. Get the key. Oh shit. Alright, so that's just a blinker. So over here, that's flashing, and they're both flashing at the same exact time. I don't know if you could get that. Same exact time. And when you turn on your daylight, or daytime, I keep saying daylight, daytime, right there. So you flick it one time. So when they're off, they're blinking at the same time. When you're, I think it's daytime. Daytime lights, they're gonna blink opposite of each other. Sorry for the noise, guys. Opposite. And I think that's just the way it works. I don't know. So yeah, that's alright, so this is what I did here, guys. Remember the first ones I stripped just to test it and stuff? Well, I covered those up. I'm probably gonna throw some tape on there too. You could use this stuff. It's called liquid electrical tape. And yeah, anything that's exposed that's electrical, I mean, you could throw that right over it and it'll be fine. Yeah, let me zoom in on it. Right there. So I did that one, and I also covered this one up, the original, and then I'll throw some tape on there too. That should be fine. And to splice them together, so I took this apart and I pulled the wires back all the way over here, and here's one right here, and I ended up using wire nuts. That should be fine for me. I mean, I've never had issues with that, and yeah, that's what I used. They got these little clamp things. Hold on, let me see if I can find one. These things, you could also use those, but you know, I don't really recommend those. Yeah, they could come loose or whatever in the future, so pretty much I use wire nuts right here, and I'm gonna also throw tape over this. Tape, and then maybe zip tie it all together so it won't move anywhere. You know, you don't want this tugging and moving all over the place. So here's the two lights, liquid tape on those, and yeah, I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. Yeah, finished product for me. Pulled them back, pretty much added some tape to the wire nuts, added more of that loom, the plastic loom, and just make sure everything was nice and tight. Nothing was being tugged on, and it should be good, man. Should be good for a very, very long time, so I'm happy with it. And you know, you do it your own way. You figure out what works best for you and your car, and yeah, if you choose another way, that's the way you do it, but it's the way I decided to do it, so that's it. So one more thing, I want to shout out LeathalRSX. He's a member on Club RSX. I think he posted this like, hold on, let me take a look. Back in 2011, so that was a while ago. I doubt he still has his car, but he's the one that drew out all those diagrams and all that. So I didn't want to take credit for any of that. So LeathalRSX, if you ever see this, you know, shout out to you. And yeah, that's it, guys.